HOAs, you either love them or you hate them. There's a lot of controversy regarding HOAs. I've had clients who tell me they don't want to even look at anything that has an HOA. Others who really like that, and that's what they're looking for. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So first we'll talk about some pros of living in an HOA. Force community standards, that can really help keep a neighborhood attractive and keep home values up. Reduce issues like overgrown lawns, vehicles on blocks in the front yard, peeling paint, neglected homes, all issues that can arise, especially when the neighborhood begins to age a little bit. Clutter, you've got your hoarder neighbor who stores everything in their front yard, is letting their adult child live in a trailer in the driveway. And again, county codes and city codes help with some of that, but it can be a little more challenging, and an HOA generally prevents those types of issues from happening. And that can support your home value over time. And again, it just, in terms of when you do go to sell your home, people like that. They like the feel of a neighborhood that feels like it's very well cared for. And community amenities. In terms of community amenities, some HOA communities have some fun amenities. Some of them have swimming pools. They may have a clubhouse that you can use. You can rent out for parties and so forth. Sometimes there's parks in the neighborhood, trails that go throughout the neighborhood, maybe a dog park. I've seen a few of those. Some I've even seen that have maybe tennis or pickleball courts, and that can be fun to have those amenities. It's a great way to meet your neighbors. Remembering though that if you do have those extra amenities, likely your HOA fees will be a little bit higher. Most HOAs are going to cover some exterior maintenance. Again, depending on the HOA, it is usually just going to be for single family homes. It will cover kind of that exterior amenities such as those parks, or if you live in a neighborhood that doesn't have any sort of amenities like that, it may just cover maintenance, the entryway into the neighborhood or things like that. And it will really range. Your HOA fees, I've seen them range from $25 up a month to $300 a month for single family. Condos can be a bit higher. And along with an HOA, there comes an HOA association. Again, love it or hate it. And there are community rules which are going to promote consistency. The rules are going to address things that we talked about before, like noise, parking, trash can storage, short-term rentals, long-term rentals. There are some HOAs that don't allow any rentals at all. So homes are all going to be owner-occupied. And the appearance of the home. Most of the HOAs require you to get approval before making any exterior changes such as painting. They may have approved colors that you need to use. That's to avoid having a neighbor who decides to paint their house purple. You may love purple, but you may not want it in your neighborhood. So things like that, as well as fencing. They will probably have rules regarding what type of fencing you can have, where that fencing can be. So again, something to keep in mind. It can feel a little bit restrictive, I think. You own the home, you should be able to do what you want, but it does help, or it can help keep up the appearances of the home, of that neighborhood, and can help retain home values because of those rules, as irritating as they can be. And now we will talk about the cons of having an HOA. Of course, you have those monthly dues, and again, they can range, I've seen them from 30 on up to a couple of hundred, just depending. They vary, again, based on amenities. Some pay monthly, some pay annually, just depending on the particular association. And those fees can increase over time, so that's something to keep in mind. Restrictions on your property. Like I said, you may need approval before painting, installing a fence, building a shed, to start your lawnmower, changing your landscaping dramatically. If you suddenly decide that you want to put zero lawn in your front yard and turn it into a rock garden, that could be an issue if you have an HOA. If you don't have an HOA, you can do whatever you want for the most part to your front yard. Of course, keeping in mind most city and counties do have some regulations. RV and boat parking is a biggie. In HOAs, it's usually limited behind a fence and so forth. Different rules depending on the city that you live in. In Vancouver, I know that you can park your RV in the driveway. Street parking is different, is restricted, but there are different rules if you do not live in an HOA for where you can park RVs, boats, things like that. Some HOAs, not all of them, but some HOAs have sort of an organized community feel. They may sponsor different holiday events, Christmas light decoration contest. I've seen neighborhood potlucks with 4th of July barbecues, things like that. They may have a newsletter, which can be a great way to get to know your neighbors a little bit better. And so those are all positives within an organized community. That can happen in a community without an HOA, but it's going to take a little bit more initiative from homeowners. So the restrictions can seem a little bit over the top for some people. A lot of people, they buy their home, they're paying for their home. This is their place and they want to be able to do whatever they want with their property. And so if that is your thoughts and attitude, then an HOA is definitely not for you. There are fines for rules violations in an HOA. And that can, again, be another real negative. You can get warning letters, you can get monetary fines, legal action, and depending on how well run the HOA is, it can get a little bit challenging. So again, something to keep in mind. And if you do decide to buy something in an HOA, it's very important to make sure that you have a look at the CCRs and any upcoming assessments and things like that before you purchase the home in an HOA. And then there's the special assessments that can happen. You see more of that in townhomes and condos. The HOA needs to have reserve funds for things like if condos need new roofing, piping, plumbing, things like that. It's fairly rare to see those special assessments in single family homes unless it's something like maybe those single family homes are on a shared well that need improvements or repairs. But something to keep in mind, again, with an HOA, those special assessments. And HOAs are governed by a board. And usually the HOAs are managed by a specific company as well. And the board and the company are really going to determine how much you get out of that HOA, whether it's overly restrictive or whether it is just there to help you enjoy your home and your neighborhood. Said a well-run HOA can be great. Poorly run one can just be a nightmare. So who is an HOA good for? It's a good fit for buyers who want a well-maintained neighborhood. They really like having those parks and things right in their neighborhood. And they don't mind following those community rules. So that can be great for somebody so an HOA could be a great fit for you. Who may not like an HOA, if you want maximum freedom to control your property, you want to be able to change your oil in your driveway, you may want to be able to park your RV in your driveway, and you don't want those dues. You just don't want those restrictions, and you don't want to have to talk to a committee before you decide what color to paint your house. So again, before purchasing a home that's in an HOA, again, make sure you have all those documents. Your realtor can help get those for you. You want to find out exactly what the dues are, if there's any upcoming assessments, any pending special assessments. Are there any restrictions? Some HOAs, like I said, some allow rentals, some allow long-term only, not short-term. There are also pet restrictions in some HOAs. They may say you can only have 2 dogs, and for me that would be a problem. I have 4 dogs. So something to keep in mind if you do decide to, or if you are interested in a home that it is an HOA. Really need to weigh that. And so Again, something to keep in mind. There's I love my HOA. They're great. I'm HOA president, not me. Or I can't stand an HOA. Don't show me any homes that have an HOA. I don't want to deal with that. So something to keep in mind. There are some great options out there, whether you want an HOA or you absolutely do not want one. Feel free to leave any comments and subscribe, like and subscribe for some future videos coming up. I'm going to be talking a bit more about walkable neighborhoods. Have a great day.